I want someone who was smart, who was intelligent, and of course, someone who would take care of me. Someone who was romantic. But every time I go to God concerning a matter, I get clarity. I hear from him. But when it comes to this guy's matter, he's just quiet about it. When this Ajamah guy came to my house, the way he was stressed, it was part of the reason why I was in tears. Like, God, look at this guy's dress. God, look at this guy's dress. He's very white
It's
on
you.
he's very white on ash. Like,
Oh Lord God.
how on earth am I supposed to cope with this? What kind of guy is this?
Do you have to? Did you have to say this?
I have
No,
to.
but I have changed. Do I still wear white on ash?
No, baby, no. Like, in fact, the way you dress, like this is like me and you were in a competition. I
Push,
have to meet
push.
your standard.
My
You get,
God.
like you dress to kill. Sure, you get. You know that day you just came to my house with Ashan. Like, coming to
My
talk to
God.
girl, need to ask the girl out.
And I'm sure.
You're
And
very
before
white on ash.
that white shirt is the white shirt you asked me not to be wearing again, Abi.
I told you never to wear it again. So like, the ends were tight. And
Jesus.
then it was tight too at the waist side. So yeah, I'm like, how?
But you have never told me this.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the primary reason why I was crying. I was crying because I felt this was too real to be true. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? And of course, talking about hearing God, I've had 2 dreams about you, even before I even went to God in prayer about it, even before you even asked me out in the first place. So I guess it was just preparing my mind for the new thing.
Wow.
Because for us, this is a new thing. This is a new beginning.
Yeah.
This is a new journey.
Yeah.
Of course, we've had to pray about so many things. For us, this is a new thing.
Yeah.
This relationship is new, and it's the Lord's doing. That's why we always say that it is marvelous on our side.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
So it was not because of the way you were dressed. That wasn't why I was crying. I was crying because I just felt like this is too real to be true. I can't believe I'll be in a relationship with quote unquote bro Seun. Like, bro Seun.
I think that people need to know me like I am sure some of the people who will be listening to this know me also from, say, campus fellowship and all of those things, so they can relate. Don't worry.
Like, and I didn't want to be in a relationship with just, of course, I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. I love to carry His presence. I love to listen. All right. I love to meditate. But I just don't want a boring relationship.
Yeah.
Being a Christian doesn't mean that you have to be boring.
Yeah.
Right? So I didn't want it to be like, Sister Ibukun, we're going to pray today.
Oh Lord.
I'm just going to say like 3 things. In summary.
Yeah.
The first thing for us, have a relationship with the Father.
Okay.
Before you even talk about anything relationship.
Okay.
He's made you, He knows who is best for you, and He knows who is suitable for you on this journey. He knows who is going to be your helpmate.
Yeah.
So first thing first, be a relationship with the Father.
Okay.
Second of all, just be doing your own thing.
Okay.
Like, just stay on His assignment. Let it be God that will see that there's a need for a partner. That's the second thing. Let it be that God that will be that is creating that hunger and thirst for you to seek a partner. And then thirdly, seek His face. If He's created that thirst, there's definitely an answer. There's definitely a way out to that thirst, to that vacuum, or help me with the English. Alright.
Yeah.
The number 3 thing.
Yep.
Number 3 thing is, if He's created that thirst, that vacuum, that need.
Yeah.
Of course, it would definitely. That means that there is already a provision somewhere. So the only thing you need to do is just seek His face.
Yeah.
And He will give you the direction.
Wow.
Alright. And let me just also quickly say this, that sometimes, it's not all the time, but sometimes, every time we see God's face concerning a life partner, the person is always sometimes within our reach. It's been someone who you've been friends with.
Okay.
So yes, we've heard testimonies of people coming from abroad to come take a wife in Nigeria from one village, and they never met there. We could have instances like that. So you get. But sometimes when you seek God's face,
Yeah.
always within your reach. All right. So, but because you have learned to trust God, because you have learned to obey and submit to His will,
Yeah.
you know, is easier, because there's a tendency for you to think that this person, no, see finish. This one that I know, that this one that I know.
See finish. See finish. I like that word. See finish.
Like it can't be this guy. And this one that I still gave him 200 last week. No, it can't be this guy. I used to wear orange on pink. I used to wear yellow on red. No, it can't be this guy. This one I used to dress like, but if our heart have learned to obey God, to be easier for us to submit. And God is a faithful God. So every time that maybe we're in a place of, say, confusion or uncertainty about our partner or about the person God is speaking to us about, there's a way He just clarifies everything. It clarifies our doubts. So as I began to worry about that too, God began to open my eyes to some riches that lies ahead, the provisions that are ahead, what's in for us getting into this relationship together. That kind of gave me peace and confidence to say, no, it's not about now. In fact, it's more than it has not even entered into the heart of men what God will do for us. All right. So like that.
All right. I just think I want to just bring in certain perspective, not to what you have said, all right, but just what I learned from what you said personally. All right. So when you were mentioning the three things that your summary, know God, build a relationship with God first, then seek His face, and then the third one, all right. I didn't hear you mention, all of these. You're talking about things that has to do with yourself, all right. You are not even talking about the other person. So what I think I heard you saying is that when it comes to the choice of a partner, and I think for guys also it applies, you don't begin to say the person must be this and that, even though it is good to have standards, all right. But really what we have to do is with us, like the bulk of the assignment lies with the individual. So if I'm looking for, so it's like saying if I'm looking for Mr. Right or Miss Right, I better be positioning myself as Mr. Right. Or you get, like, if as a lady I'm looking for Mr. Right, I hope I am also Miss Right, because you've just got to be right by yourself for somebody else to be right by you. Otherwise, you will be looking for what you do not have.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I thought to say is that I know, and I remember that I sometimes say this to you, that I don't think there was anything bad in your desires to have those things, all right. It's not as though you can't have their desire, but we must come to the place where we are also ready to let go of what we think is best for us, and then in place of what God
has in stock
has in stock for us. And the third thing is that, well, it doesn't have to always be that there will always be a struggle. Some people may just have it cool. The guy may really be tall, rich, and handsome, so it doesn't invalidate our desires, but sometimes it may not just be exactly like that. So maybe the primary thing is that readiness to trust God, to listen and to obey his will and his wishes for us. All right. And that thought wraps it up for us on this episode. We believe that you've had fun, you've learned, you've picked one or two things that you would apply in your own personal relationship. Thank you so much for staying with us. We love you. But before we go, somebody has got a word for you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi.
You're not serious.